Welcome to Reach Talks. This is the second set of Reach Talks for this afternoon. We have two guest companies today speaking on the topics of branches. Our first company is Integrated Builders. They are a full-service design firm that serves credit unions exclusively. That means that they have unparalleled insight and strategic response to their clients' needs and opportunities at the best possible scope and cost. Now, without further ado, because Reach Talks are designed to be short 20-minute talks, I'm going to introduce to you our guest speakers for today, Patrick Sende and Drew Lerned.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrick Sende. And this is Drew Learned. I want to take a few minutes of your time to give you a feel for IBG's interpretation of the future branch transformation, and some of our experiences that we've had out on the trail working in this environment. 3 years ago, the Filing Research Institute issued a report. In our area, it was pretty substantial. Kind of like a watershed moment for the design builders and other architects that work within the credit union industry. It was strategic in nature. We read it, analyzed it, debated it, and it led to a significant improvements as far as new concept designs, new design concepts, and new equipment that was out. One of the items that this report talked about was this idea of looking at our products and services from a credit union industry and ranking them from kind of the most simplistic, least complex to the most complex, high-touch type area. Then bisecting that and focusing the attention of the credit unions and their sales and services resources, which are limited, on the higher end portion of that spectrum, and then looking at the lower end portion of the spectrum and trying to automate that and make it more self-service.
Then all of a sudden, we started having these three-letter acronyms. And this is for all these new fancy machines from the device manufacturers. And it became kind of a job in itself to try to not only remember the names, but also the features and the functions and the risks and the opportunities of all these new machines. And also, how do we use these new machines in our environment of the future branch? However, it led to very creative and unique designs. And it allowed us to vary the space plan so that we could significantly change the focus, the function, and the flexibility of the branch to the member experience. At IBG, we've created 5 unique space plan models for the future branch. And these include a universal teller pod, floating tellers, perch tellers, dialogue banking, and cashless branches. They all range in sizes, too. These branches range in size from 800 square feet to 5,000 square feet. And then, secondarily, another huge change has come along to help affect these branches, and that's multimedia. We have large graphics, digital signage. We have even a virtual holographic greeter that's actually gone into one credit union. So many things. Incredibly large light graphic boxes, backlit walls, and all these things go in to affect the member when they're not in front of the credit union employee. Use their time and have some kind of effect and change on the credit union member.
So this movement towards automation and efficiency and a full cashless branch is not without its risks. The biggest risks that our clients tell us is the risk of losing touch, personal touch with the member by moving to an automated type situation. So for that particular reason, we've found that the majority of our clients move to a model which is just north of the midpoint in that transformational curve, from traditional tellers to fully cashless branch. Keep in mind, though, that most of our clients, as they look at their transformational process, they look at we call it the three-legged stool. So based on conversations with them, they tell us that there's 3 items that are overlooked typically when they go through a transformation, branch transformation. The first is tellers. A universal teller is a combination between a traditional teller, an MSR, and a loan officer. It's kind of like that super teller type person. And it's becoming increasingly clear that the ability to be able to have traditional tellers move into a universal teller environment is just not happening as well as it should. So that's one. The second thing is that core processors. Core processors, it's very important that the credit unions look at their core processors and make sure that the core processor can integrate with the type of devices that they want to be able to put in. We have found in some situations where we walk into a credit union environment and there's multiple machines that are sitting in the area where the tellers are, but they can't be utilized to the same extent that the tellers want them to, or that the credit union wants them to, because they've lacking the software integration back into that core processor. So then they have to move to middleware, screen scrapers, a lot of those other different types of things. The third item is what to do when your branch transformation actually is a success. You may have a 5-branch network, and you go through a branch transformation on one of those branches, and it works fantastic. And then you get done, and you set expectations for your members and also for your staff that, hey, there's going to be some more proliferation of this sometime in the future. But if you don't have a plan to be able to respond to that at that particular point in time, then your branch and your members are kind of left in the lurch. They don't really know what to happen. Good case in point was a credit union that was down in Texas. They had a 10-branch network. They implemented branch transformation in 3 of these branches, and their sales and service, skyrocketed. And all the rest of the tellers, all the rest of the members of the branches and the other branches all wanted to be able to have a little piece of the action, and they couldn't have that. So there's 3 things on there that normally are not part of design build world, but because we're involved in all the strategies that the credit unions work with and see all these different types of things, those things come to the fruition for us and allow us to be able to communicate that to other credit unions. Finally, most important thing above all is make sure that as you go through a branch transformation, you're working with a partner, whether it be an architect, a builder, a consultant, somebody who's knowledgeable about your particular credit union, your particular functions, how you go about doing business, and how you create good service for your members so that they can tailor that solution to your specific needs. Thank you very much. We'll answer any questions.